Good morning. Welcome to Coffee with Ken, y'all. So today, not talking about any politics, not at all. Actually, I want to talk about mental health. And first, let me stress that I'm not a mental health professional nor expert. I'm only talking about things that have helped me in my mental health journey. So, uh, a lot of people. Um, are caught up in their emotions, especially within the black community. Black community is extremely emotional. Um, we have a lot of people in our community who are angry about social issues, angry about politics, angry about just being black in America, and you don't have to be. We don't have to be, and we shouldn't be. We shouldn't be angry about anything. Um, we should be focusing on bettering our community. We should be focusing on helping each other to rise up, and achieve the best that, achieve the most that we can, as individuals. I've always been very aggressive, at what I want, but I've also been very uh, um, charitable in terms of sharing knowledge and helping those that are less fortunate than I am. I've had a very fortunate life, especially as a black person in America. I've had an exceptional life, really. Um, I can't say that I've been discriminated against, uh, to the point where uh, I couldn't achieve the goals that I set for myself. There have been some obstacles, and I've definitely experienced racism. I've experienced a lot of racism in my life, still do to this day. But I don't let that stop me from doing what I want to do. Um, and most of it is because of my mental fortitude. Um, I used to be very sensitive when I was younger. Things used to bother me to the point where some days I would just break down and fall apart. Um, and I'm talking about years ago, like teenage years, early 20s. But I learned eventually that no matter what anybody says, their words don't affect me. Their words have no bearing on my life whatsoever. Um, what anybody says to you is only going to have the power that you give it. And many of us in the black community are so emotional, and common thing you hear is, oh, I felt some kind of way about that. You know, uh, I was disrespected. Or I'm just not going to let them talk to me any kind of way. You know what? Fuck what they say. Fuck what they say. Because the thing is this, you can't control what comes out of somebody else's mouth. You can't control what thoughts go through somebody else's head. You can't control how somebody else may feel about you, personally or otherwise. But what you can control is whether or not you're going to react emotionally or respond logically. See, that's totally within your control. So at the end of the day, no matter what happens is up to you and how you let it affect you. I'm at a point in my life where I don't give a fuck what anybody says about me. I don't care what they think about me. I don't care how they feel about me, because None of that has anything to do with me. That's a problem that they have within themselves. And I tell you, if you adopt that very same attitude, your life will improve exponentially just by cutting loose the emotional baggage uh, that you've been carrying around all your life. Um, I get a lot of haters here on TikTok. People, always got something to say about my live streams, especially when I'm talking about anything political or religious. Uh, and then when they don't like what I say, they're quick to flag my live to try to get me taken down. But guess what? It's not stopping me from saying what's on my mind. It's not stopping me from sharing, how I feel about certain things. And I don't care if you like what I say or not, because I don't do this for anybody's pleasure. I speak my mind because I need to get it off my mind. And some people will agree with some of the things that I say and believe in, and some people may not agree with what I say or what I believe in. I'm not here to try to convince anybody one way or the other. What I like to do is share my thoughts. I like to hear other people's thoughts. I like to hear, how other people feel about, some of the issues that we all deal with in life. We all have to deal with the political environment. We all have to deal with just life in general, and social constructs, that we all have to live through. But you don't have to let it dictate how you live your life. You don't. Just because somebody says something about you, they can say the ugliest, meanest, most vulgar bullshit about you. You know who you are. My mother always told me that it's not what they call you, it's what you answer to. So that stuck with me all of my life. I didn't give a damn what anybody called me. I didn't give a damn what anybody said about me or what they felt or what they thought. All I cared about was living my life drama free. You know what I mean? Taking care of my responsibilities in life, taking care of the ones that I care about. Because if I don't care about, if you're not in my inner circle, I don't give a fuck. I don't. And that's not to say that I don't care about people in general, because that I do. Excuse me. I care about anybody who wants to live an abundant life, drama free, stress free. You know what I'm saying? I care about those that want to live life in simplicity. I care about people who want, who set goals for themselves and work hard to achieve those goals. And if they ask me for help, if I can help them, I'm glad to help them. If I can't help them, I'll tell them I can't help you. But you got a lot of people out here, man, that they get so caught up in their feelings. Next thing you know, they want to fight, they want to bicker and argue, and shit gets out of control. Somebody ends up getting hurt, all because of somebody's feelings. You got to let go of that bullshit. Got to let it go, man. Focus, people. Focus in on what's important. What's important is setting goals, achieving your goals, and taking care of those uh, that are taking care of you. You know what I mean? That's that. It's really, really that simple. Somebody told me one time, he says, Ken, it ain't as easy as you think it is. What do you mean it's not as easy as I think it is? Yeah, it is. I've done it. I've let go of the emotional bullshit. I don't, I just don't care. Say what you want. I'm going to keep on marching forward. I'm going to keep on moving towards the goals that I set for myself. And if I don't reach it, I take a step back, figure out what I may have done wrong or the missteps I may have taken. I readjust and I get back on course. Doesn't matter what somebody says, because you're always going to have somebody out there with something negative to say. And just because they have something negative to say doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It's information that you can take in and use for yourself in achieving your life's goals. You got to take the good with the bad. As long as somebody's not putting their hands on you and trying to harm you physically, fuck everything else. I've had people call me ugly motherfucker, broke ass bitches, and this, that, or the other. I don't care. That's fine. If that's what you think about me, guess what? That's fine. You keep expending that energy on whatever you want. It's not going to stop me from moving forward. It's just not. And I'm not going to feel no kind of way about it. I'm not. I don't care. People that are going to respect me are going to respect me because I earned their respect. I don't demand respect from anybody. I don't care who it is. I have to earn their respect. And I earn their respect by being a solid person in their life, being a person that they can count on when they need to count on me. That's if I choose to give myself, in that way. Because I'm only gonna give myself to people that are gonna truly appreciate what I have to give. And if they don't appreciate it, guess what? Fuck them. I'm moving on. It's nothing personal. Doesn't mean I dislike them or got something against them. The bottom line is, if they're not going to appreciate what I have to offer, then maybe what I have to offer is not for them. And I keep it moving. I can't get mad because somebody uh, doesn't like what I have to say or doesn't feel the same way that I feel about things. Nah. That's why I always tell MAGA, yo, I'm not your enemy. Because y'all actually have the right to feel and believe what you feel and believe. I don't agree with what MAGA feels. I don't agree with what MAGA believes in. But guess what? They're people just like me. They have a right to their thoughts and their feelings. I can't get mad about that. I know I come on and I talk about the political climate a lot, and it might seem like I'm angry at times, but I'm not. I'm not angry at all. I'm flabbergasted. I'm confused sometimes as to how people can see something, in a certain way when it's obvious to me that it's something else. And see, that's the key too. Two people aren't going to see things the same way. Two people, 10 people, 20 people can look at the same exact thing and see it totally different. And they can all feel totally different about what they see. But as long as those differences don't cross a line and turns into physical harm, then it doesn't fucking matter. we're all gonna agree, we're gonna disagree on shit, but what we all need to do is we need to figure out how to come to a happy medium. We need to all figure out uh, s- a compromise that's going to be beneficial to us all, because we all have to live in this world, and we have to live in this world together. Doesn't mean we have to live in the same neighborhoods. Me personally, I have no problem with people being segregated. I think if a group of people wants to go off, and live together with other like-minded people, yo, have at it. Do your thing. Do your thing. Just don't come over here fucking with us, because, we like to live this way. You don't fuck with us, we won't fuck with y'all. It's that simple. It really is. Trust when I tell you. When you figure out that most of the time the problems that people have amongst themselves is their emotions. Once you figure out how to let go of the emotional struggle that you go through, your life will get to be much simpler. Your life will get to be drama free. Really, really. I know a lot of this, may not make sense to some of y'all. Some of y'all might think, Ken, you're crazy as a motherfucker. Some of you are sitting out there saying, I just can't let go of my emotions. Well, guess what? You're always going to have the drama and the problems that you're dealing with. Let those emotions go. Sit back and you think about things logically, and you respond logically instead of reacting emotionally. Your life will get better. You will have better outcomes in every situation. That doesn't mean that every situation is going to turn out exactly the way you want it, because no matter what, it's going to be what it's going to be. It really is. And we're not always going to have it the way that we want it. It's not always going to turn out exactly the way that we want it, but it's going to turn out the way that it needs to turn out. And then you're going to have to make a decision how to move forward from that. See, me personally, I don't have time to argue with anybody. I don't have time for the back and forth until I make time for it. Really. I'm only going to argue with somebody because I choose to argue with them. I'm going to choose to debate with somebody. Uh, I'm not going to let somebody goat me into something that I don't want to do. Trust and believe. If you ever hear me going back and forth with somebody, it's because I want to at that point in time. There are times when I just love a good debate. I love to go back and forth, even when I know I'm wrong, because it's entertainment to me. It really is. Some people say, Ken, you shouldn't play games like that. It's not playing games. I like to know what people's convictions are. You got some people that are so strong in their convictions that they'll take it to the grave. You know what I mean? I like to know who those people are sometimes. Then I have other days I don't want to be bothered, but it's always at my choosing. It is. I'm not going to let myself be stressed out over things that are beyond my control. I'm just like everybody else out there. I got responsibilities every stinking day. I got something that I'm responsible for. I got to pay bills because we can't avoid it. Because unfortunately, humans have figured out a way to make it that we all have to pay just to live. How did that happen? We're the only species on this planet that has to pay other people so that we can live. Does that make sense? It doesn't really. But we're supposed to be the intelligent ones, right? We're the smart ones. I actually think we're probably the dumbest fucks on the planet. I'm surprised we survived this long, to tell you the truth. I really am. Especially when I look at our politics and our religions and all of our isms and ists and all them other funky words that sound the same in how they end. You know, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. We put up so many barriers between us, it makes it almost impossible to navigate life without some sort of conflict, you know, or disagreements. But get out your emotions and you'll have a lot less conflicts. I'm not going to say you'll have less disagreements because you're always going to disagree with somebody. You're always going to disagree with something. But if you don't let yourself get emotionally attached, you'll be able to figure out those things much easier and have much better outcomes. That's real, y'all. That's real. So I say all that to say this. Get out your feelings. Quit your blood clot crying. Live your life in simplicity. Live your life logically. Make better choices. Because where you're at right now is because of the choices you made yesterday. I'm your man's Ken Jackson. This has been Coffee with Ken, live on TikTok. I'll catch y'all later. Peace. Y'all have yourselves a wonderful day.
Thanks for watching, and please like, subscribe, and share this video.